Congressman, you're a Republican, and if a Republican really wants to complain about the way the Biden administration has handled the energy situation here, I know what you're going to say. Do we want to go through the process of that? Because you've got a million things you could say. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but we're doing the SPR at $80. I mean, that's crazy, just to get it down. And that was not an emergency. That was not something that knocked out production. That was just purely November's coming, and we want to give people a little relief at the pump. Biden went over hat in hand to the Saudis and said, please help me. And this is how he's repaid. And we still haven't done anything in this country to loosen up a lot of the executive orders that were put on as he entered the office on January 20th. So I'm just getting you started. If you want to go through this, you can, but it just seems like shooting fish in a barrel because it's a total excrement storm.
Yeah, it's been frustrating to say the least. And while we talk a lot about energy independence, energy security, what we really mean is not being dependent on OPEC and other countries' decisions on supply issues for the price of oil. And under President Trump, America really was sort of the market maker here on energy prices. No more is that the case. And clearly, there's so much more we could do to expand supply here, as well as help supply our allies in this war against Putin and level these prices out, create more of that stability. So, yeah, this is a self-inflicted wound, I think, from the president, and he still has time to course correct. No one believes he will.
What do you mean? How could he course correct? And talking about the president's one thing. What about our friends in Saudi Arabia that have no problem at this point helping Putin fund the atrocities that we all witness on the nightly news in Ukraine?
Yeah, it is. That is a long discussion too, Joe. It's just frustrating, I think, for many of us to see a U.S. dependent on Saudi Arabia, Iran, or Venezuela for energy supplies when we have it is so abundant, it's affordable, and it's done environmentally responsible right here in the United States. I guess that's the bottom line. Why are we running this path when we're so vulnerable to others' decisions?
What are we going to do about inflation in the Fed at this point, Congressman? Are you expecting a recession next year?
I do. I think that every indicator shows that. I noticed the conference board's leading economic index fell to 0.4% for the last 6 months. That is, for the last 60 years, been followed by a recession. We're either in it or close to it. Certainly, we have a pretty dangerous wage price spiral. We've been talking about that. No country wants to be in it. We're deeply in it. We have stagflation, just the traditional definition of it. So I think what worries me a bit is I'm not sure the Fed knows what the unemployment rate needs to be to decelerate inflation. Therefore, I don't think they know what the economic growth should be slowed to achieve that. So, I'm just worried that they're winging it here, trying to get the president's inflation down.
Looking at predicted Senate for 2022, the things have been moving a little bit recently. I don't know. Unfortunately, the stock market has given people a case of agita in the last month, and for whatever reason, I think even the Senate looks like it could be more favorable for Republicans. The House is, I think, the predicted is almost 80 to 20 right now in terms of betting. What are you expecting?
Yeah, so I expect a very strong election night for Republicans in the House. And a lot of it, too, is not just the groundwork that's been laid in the history. This is a referendum on Joe Biden, clearly, but the recruitment of candidates has been in the House is, again, some of the best I've ever seen. That's really important in the House because that's the last local election. That's really where people connect with that elected leader. At the Senate level, I do think things look better. I think it probably is down to 1 or 2 seats again, maybe election night or a runoff. So we may be seeing a replay of that, but I feel real confident about the House.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.